going, YouTube? Happy Tuesday. What in the world am I yammering about today? Well, this always strikes me funny whenever I see it. And I'm pretty sure this happens on CFI trucks. I could be wrong, it could be a different company, but all I know for sure is that it's they're red trucks, and it's not CR England, it's not Nussbaum, and it's not US Express. I think those are the three companies, the three biggest carriers in the US that operate red trucks. I could be wrong about how many there are, but I'm pretty sure that this is a CFI situation. But again, I could be wrong, but I'm almost 100% positive it's not Nussbaum, and I'm equally positive it's not US Express or CR England. So there we go. Anyway, what's funny about CFI trucks? Again, if it is CFI. Now, if it is not CFI, I apologize. My intention is not to defame or throw shade where it doesn't belong, but I believe it's them. I could be wrong, however. If you know who it is, sound off in the comments, educate me. I would appreciate the information. But suffice it to say, I saw one of their trailers rolling through Indianapolis just a few minutes ago here, and it got me going to the point where I had to comment on it, because this is always funny to me, and it really should not be funny at all, but it is super funny, and this is what the situation is. These red trucks, they have a decal typically on their baggage doors or right in the neighborhood of their baggage compartment on their trucks. It's a black vinyl decal, and the text of it is "Support the troops" or "Support our troops." One of those two taglines, which at face value, totally support it. I totally understand the sentiment behind it, and I'm all for it. I am here for that. Support the troops. Even if all you've got for them is well wishes and congratulations on surviving your deployment, or thank you for serving our country, support the troops, whatever you can, however you can. Well, where it's funny is the design of the graphic, because they have the bottom area of the graphic is some soldiers. I think they're marching with weapons out. They're in a battlefield situation. Okay, no problem there. The next bit up, it's silhouettes of Apache attack helicopters. No problem there, as tracking so far. But the top layer, the top portion of this decal is 3 fighter jets. And I think that whoever designed this was looking to use the F-15 as their silhouette source, which would have been quite appropriate, because the F-15E is a ground attack aircraft. It is ground attack enabled, or as some in the service might say, air to mud. Hopefully that's an appropriate thing, but I could be wrong. Anyways, like I said, it's an air to mud aircraft. It's enabled with that option as part of its function. What they are using, however, instead is either the Su-27 or the MiG-29 Russian jet. It is a Russian aircraft silhouette that they're using on their Support the Troops decal on their trucks. And I just saw a trailer, a Support the Troops trailer. They were pulling through Indianapolis, and large and in charge, those 3 Russian fighter jet silhouettes, big and bold on the side of their trailer. And I feel so bad for them, because I know in their heart of hearts, this company, they are trying to communicate, support American troops, support our troops as Americans. And again, I am completely in support of that sentiment, even if all you've got is thoughts and prayers. Every little bit helps. At least I like to think so anyway. But either someone maliciously sold them the design of, this graphic that has Russian jets on it because they didn't pay attention, or someone in their graphic design department, in the purest of innocence, just grabbed the coolest looking fighter silhouette they possibly could off of Google's images or something like that, and then just stuck it up into this graphic and passed up the chain. The boss was like, yeah, this is great, and just approved it right away without bothering to fact check and make sure what silhouette was going into this graphic that is now adorning hundreds, if not thousands, of these trucks nationwide. And whenever I see it, it's just really, really funny to me. But I also feel really bad for them, because I pretty confident that the boss of CFI or whoever it is, or the company board, does not realize they have Russian military jets in their support our troops decal. Which, that's really funny, because they're making the same mistake that the federal government has made when they mistakenly put some graphic designer somewhere trying to make a patriotic tweet or a social media post somewhere, accidentally has used Russian military assets multiple times over the last few years, instead of making sure they were using proper American military assets for American patriotic social media posts. And I mean, again, I feel bad for him. I'm pretty confident that it's not malicious on the part of the company's board or their CEO or their maintenance department or their graphic design department, at least in theory. But if it is malicious intent on the part of whoever designed that decal, they should be fired, because it's pretty straightforward to make sure that you've got the right fighter aircraft silhouette decal you're going to put on the side of your truck, because the resources on how to make sure you're using the right aircraft for your patriotic decal are just, they are all over the internet. I mean, there are sites on how, from every angle you can look at every fighter aircraft or every military aircraft currently in service with three-dimensional imaging and, you know, orthographic and isometric layouts, you know, blueprint documents, all kinds of stuff is out there that will let you know exactly what it is you're using for whatever your purpose is. And I believe they were going for the F-15 for their support of the troops decal to tie in with the Air Force, which again, I support the notion, but they're using the wrong aircraft. And it's like, come on, folks, if you're gonna make a patriotic statement with your truck, especially with your truck, because we got a lot of red-blooded patriots on the roads out here. I like to count myself as one of those red-blooded patriots as well. Make sure you're using the right stuff. Like, if you're going to put a flag in your truck, make sure it's got 50 stars and 13 stripes. If you're going to, put a fighter decal on your truck, make sure that, you're putting it with the appropriate flag. Now, where this would work, however, where this decal would work is if this company had the Ukrainian flag in the background of these fighter jets, because the Ukrainian Air Force does operate Russian-built fighter jets, and if they had the Ukrainian flag behind these soldiers on the battlefield, even though they look like they're American soldiers as opposed to Ukrainian, but we'll leave that there. And then also the Ukrainians don't have American Apache attack helicopters, but still, if they had the Ukrainian flag behind their Russian fighter jets, that would make legitimate, correct sense, because again, the Ukrainians do have Russian-built aircraft or Russian-designed aircraft, or however it actually works out. They have those aircraft in their inventory, and they have flown them in combat against the Russians during their war against them. So that would make sense, but this is not a flag-specific decal, and the impression, because I've seen this decal even before the Ukraine war broke out, and it was still the Russian jet then. And yeah, I hope someone's told them, but I don't think anyone has, because I have the feeling if someone had told them and they had fact-checked their own decal, they would have made real effort to correct that problem lickety-split, because, well, Russian apologists don't really fare well in the modern scope, depending on where you're at in the country or where you are politically. So, there it is. Anyway, that's all I want to waffle about today. Thank you so much for watching, and if you see this decal, call the company, let them know. If I see them and I can guarantee, when I can identify which carrier it is, I'm going to try to give them a call myself and say, hey, do you know what's on the side of your trucks? Because they may not be aware. So, yeah, I'll leave it there, YouTube. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you down the road.